the CWE podcast. I'm your host, Gage, or you call me Cincy for short. I got to shout out my sponsors real quick. WG, Advanced Rogue. Use my code CWE99 for 10% off. Also, if you like snacking cookie dough, I also got Deutsch Cookie Dough as a partnership sponsorship. Check out the link with that, and you save $5 off on each purchase. And be sure to check out my Brainbusters link for merch. Also, I'm rocking a Cincy Wrestling enthusiast hat. I have Vinny Pacifico. How we doing, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So how did you get into the wrestling business, and how old were you?
I was 14. I was a fan of wrestling for a very long time. I went to a meet and greet with John Cena and Daniel Bryan, and I was playing football in high school at the time. And I said, you know what, Dad, I want to wrestle. And after those meet and greets, that was it for me. I decided to jump full steam ahead into the industry.
And those were your influences,
Oh
as you
yeah,
could say.
oh
Okay,
yeah, big
cool,
time.
cool, cool, cool. Your indies days, like, can you describe your first match?
My first match, I fell in my entrance. Yeah, fell
Alright,
right in my
alright.
entrance, got busted open, bleeding everywhere. But it was an experience. It was a very cool journey, getting to travel. I was traveling every single week at the age of 16, like just getting in cars, getting around wherever I could go, wherever I could, wherever I could be, I would go. And
Absolutely.
eventually that grew into more and more opportunities and just kept going. And then everything I believe in life, the harder you, with your hard work is a snowball effect. And that's what it was for me. Eventually started training at Ring of Honor. And once I was at Ring of Honor, I started traveling with them on the road every month, every week, as much as I can with them. And then started going on their shows. Yeah, and that was like one of the best times of my career. I look back at that and I'm like, wow, what an amazing time that was. The
Right.
camaraderie, the friends, the locker room, the crowds. It's one of the best times of my life.
Absolutely. And you were also on AEW and NXT.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was real
yeah.
fun times.
What can you walk me through those?
Yeah, so my first time at AEW was during COVID. So that was a very
Okay.
good. That was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
I was in Florida. I was actually in Universal Studios.
Okay.
I was in Universal. My wife. We were doing Ollivanders and Harry Potter World, and I get a text, an email, um, to be there the next week, and that was it. And it was crazy, and it was awesome, and it was just so different because it was during COVID. So like the crowd was like filled to a certain area and then not filled, like they're doing this distancing.
Right,
It
right. It
was
was
really
weird.
cool. It was really
Okay.
cool.
Who'd you
And
go against actually
that was
your
Wardlow.
match?
My first time was Wardlow.
Oh wow, wow.
Um, and then the next my time in NXT was a year later. And that was I believe COVID was done, and 2021 that was a crazy experience. And that I tell you, one of the best times of my career because I was in a phase of so much growth at that time. I was being mentored by EC3. I was, learning so much from him. And, William Regal, somebody I was getting to learn from a lot.
Right.
When I went to NXT, whenever I went to NXT, I would always sit with William Regal and just
For
learn
sure.
from him and just soak up every bit of knowledge from him that I can.
Him and
And
Paul Heyman's got like the best wrestling minds when it comes to pro wrestling, in my
oh,
opinion.
totally, hands down. And so that was an amazing experience. And it just kept snowballing. I had my debut at Evolve, and then that's no. Actually, sorry, I got the timelines mixed.
You're good.
Evolve happened before COVID.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, my debut at Evolve happened before COVID, and uh, COVID happened. It was like weird. It was I debuted at Evolve, wrestled. I had a match with Gangrel, had a match in Chicago, and then everything shut down after that.
Right, right.
And fast forward to then my AEW, and then once COVID kind of was kind of on the mend to finishing. I had my return match was against Jaden Newman. Like once wrestling came back and resumed, the match I had was against Jaden Newman. Um, I wrestled as much as I can during COVID, but like once everything kind of like was normal again,
Yeah.
Jaden Newman, which I love him. I love Jaden Newman, one of my favorite talents out there, and friends. And then I wrestled against EC3 in Maine. That was one of the
Nice.
biggest tests of my career. And that's when he realized, like, I want to mentor this kid. I want to give this kid some knowledge and taught me so much about the industry. And yeah, and that was kind of one of the biggest growth years of my life.
What has wrestling taught you?
Oh my God, so much. Because now I'm telling you one thing. I'll tell you, in life, it taught me to be patient, to so Gangrel was one of my biggest influences early on, and he knew how much I wanted it, and just always was mentally working and working and working and working.
For
And
sure.
he told me, like, Vinny, you gotta relax. You gotta like live in the moment. You gotta kind of just be and enjoy, you know. And that's something that he always taught me because I get so consumed, and I'll be on my phone, I'll be doing my emails, and I won't be present in the moment. And that's something
Right.
that I learned from my wife. Because if I'm traveling the world with my wife, like I had a lot of European tours, a lot of global tour, like Middle East, Japan, and I'm just working all the time on my phone or whatever I may be doing, and I'm consumed in my work. And he
Absolutely.
taught EC3 and Gangrel taught me to take a step back in life and just live, enjoy your life for a minute. And that's something that I would say wrestling taught me. But also, I wouldn't say wrestling taught me that, but people from wrestling taught me that. But I
Right.
just wanted, you know what I'm saying? But I will say that now I'm jumping into film and movies a lot.
Yeah. How is that? Like,
And thank you. And
yeah.
wrestling has taught me almost everything that I know. Like I'm able to take my wrestling abilities and bring that into the films. Like
Right.
my
I'm about
last
to say
film,
they kind of intertwine. Yeah. For
very,
sure.
very much so. And with stunts, with improv, with the ways with the way I'm able to fight and do combat also. So it's been a really, really cool journey, like getting to do both. And it's been so fulfilling, getting to really just travel like everywhere
Absolutely.
and just wrestle and then also like film a movie. Like I had a movie in LA and a wrestling show in LA on the same day.
Really.
And yeah,
Dang.
and but it's been incredible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're just a busy man. I get it. Yeah. Um.
Luckily, knock on wood, because it was not always this way. It wasn't
Okay.
always this way.
Okay.
I had to work. So I mean, listen, I got very busy from when I from Ring of Honor on, but before then, I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted more. I was depressed. I was mentally just like wanting everything at once, and now it's
It
coming.
just hit you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
want anyone to watch this. Anyone to watching this in any sort of in any job, any passion you may have, and you want more and you want it, just keep working hard because it will come.
Absolutely. Um. Explain how hard is it to promote your merch and promote your socials as an independent wrestler.
It's not hard anymore. So I'll tell you what. I built a fan base, so it's
Of
kind of
course.
not where it's hard. It is very hard to do, but like I had Ring of Honor, I had Evolve, I had all those things happen for me early on in my career, so that kind of launched me. And it is hard, regardless, no matter what. Even if you're on TV, it's still hard because there's a million guys doing the same thing, or a million guys who try and get that spot. So it's always going to be hard.
Right.
But
Right.
in my opinion, if you have a brand, a key brand, like especially now, like I'm doing movies, I'm getting fans from the horror industry getting into my wrestling stuff too. So it's
Right.
like, it's just being able to brand yourself and make yourself become different to what everybody else is, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, as a wrestler, you are not just a wrestler. You are a brand. You are a business. You could be a wrestler. You could be an actor. You could be a podcaster. You could be a musician. You could be a dancer. You could be anything you want. Like I see, a lot of wrestlers are getting signed to Banana Bowl. Do you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
A lot.
like, and they're loving it, and they're having the best time, and the Banana Bowl fans are following them. So now it's like they're growing their fan base with these new fans, and then they come to see wrestling, and then they have all these new fans, and then they are a brand, they are an entity, right? And that's
Right.
what I believe every wrestler can be, and that's what I kind of did for myself. I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm a wrestler, and I love this more than anything, but I could also act. Why not?
Right.
Acting did come in a way for me that I didn't expect. I always knew I wanted to eventually get into acting because a lot of wrestlers do, but
Right.
I got offered to do a wrestling horror film called Mr. Reset. Filmed that a year and a half ago, and now we're in the well, actually, no, about a year ago. Sorry, and we are in the final stages of our launch. We're going to be launching very very soon to distribution, and that was kind of like, holy crap, I love acting, this is so much fun. And it also, but
That's
also
cool.
again, it was also wrestling, so it was very easy to do because I played myself
Of
as a
course.
wrestler, so it was very easy for me. But I also really enjoyed the acting part of it, you know, the story part of it, the deep dive into finding, like, even my character. Like, yes, I play myself, but I had to find different versions of me to bring out because I was in situations that I wouldn't be on a wrestling show, right?
Right.
So it's just like it shows so much depth, and I was able to really dig deep into my, you know, my persona, and it was such a cool opportunity.
So you seem like you're even. You're not a baby face. You're not a heel. You're just you.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be more babyface,
Of course.
but when I need to be a heel, I could be a heel. Like, I was recently in a movie. I played a evil detective, and that was really
Pretty easy.
really fun. Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay.
Oh, it was
Okay.
very crazy. It was
Okay.
crazy, but really fun. Really fun.
That's good. That's good. Uh, wh- see, what are your thoughts on the industry itself, like the pro wrestling side? Like
It's
it's
not easy.
involving, it's involving every day.
It's not easy. You know, it's an industry. It's an entertainment industry. So it's one of the,
Right.
like, entertainment has movies, film, sports. I put wrestling with sports, and I put wrestling between sports and film.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard industry to break out in. You know, I always urge wrestlers to, or other people that, or my peers to just, to, like I said, work. I always say work very hard, give it your all, and always give your 100% best. But you could find success in other things that will make you successful in wrestling or help you. Like I said, for example, I've seen so many guys go from wrestler, then they land a movie role, they get massively famous, and then they're even bigger in wrestling. Or
Right.
for example, or even, like I said, the Banana Bowl. Like, they're doing these things and they're killing it on TV for the Banana
Yeah.
Bowl, and their brand just grows. So, like, you as a wrestler, like, 100% always give your all, but you could do anything in wrestling. You could become, like I said, if you're a wrestler and you make a song and you become a hit song on globally. Now look at your wrestling career, you guys skyrocket.
Right.
So there's just so many ways to succeed in wrestling and outside wrestling that I think, for any wrestler, the sky is the limit. And I always tell people that. They're like, "Oh, I don't think I could do this. I don't believe that." And that's like a, I don't know why people have that. It's insecurity. I have that. I had that too. I still do. But
Yeah.
I think, at the end of the day, if you bet on yourself and you like, I mean, again, if you're wrestling, you're believing in yourself, because you wouldn't be. I mean, hopefully, it's a very hard industry to do. Like, you gotta
Hmm.
get up in gear, you gotta go out there and just wrestle in front of fans, tons of fans. It's very hard,
For
but
sure.
I think if you're a young wrestler and you want to succeed, there's many routes you can succeed. Always give it your all, but always try and believe in yourself. And also, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's a big thing that I've learned growing up. And I always try to always ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, you're not gonna know the answer.
Right.
If you don't ask for an opportunity, no one's gonna know you want the opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No one's gonna
Uh,
know.
no, you're right. You're a huge energy drink enthusiast.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Mount Rushmores of energy drinks. You can add a number five for honorable mention, but
5.
yeah.
Quick question. Okay. And I'm gonna ask you yours, 'cause I'm curious.
Okay.
Um, I would say Monster.
Okay.
Definitely Monster, Red Bull. Because, I mean, listen, everyone knows Monster, Red Bull.
Right.
Monster, Red Bull, gotta give it to Ghosts, because the flavors they do is incredible.
Right.
I'm not gonna mention my previous sponsors, because
Okay.
obviously I was signed to Bang and G Fuel, and I'm
Oh
not gonna
wow.
yeah, I was. I was signed to Bang first. Really, really crazy opportunity. I loved it. It was so much fun. And then G Fuel. Both of them amazing brands, but I'm not gonna mention them in this because I want to be able to mention other brands that aren't the ones that. So, Monster, Red Bull, Ghost. Yeah, I go with Celsius. I appreciate what
Okay.
Celsius is doing. They're doing really well right
Okay.
now. They're skyrocketing, I would
Yeah.
say. And I'm gonna say my fifth one, Rockstar.
Rockstar.
You know
Okay.
why? I would even put Rockstar as like higher up on that list because I could have a Rockstar at any moment and it won't cause any like jitters or anxiety or side effects. Like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
energy drinks, I'll drink it. I'll get a little jitters. I'll get a little anxiety. You know, Rockstar are smooth, nice energy, clean energy. Does drink for you. So I'll say Monster's pretty high. Not Monster. Rockstar is very high on that list.
Okay. Okay.
Let's hear yours.
Mine's. I would say C4.
Oh, that's a good one too.
C4. I like the rains. I'm a huge. I like the orange dreamsicle rains.
Rain's really good.
Yep.
Love that one too. You're right.
I like White Monster. I don't really drink the Green Monster. Um, Red Bull is definitely on there, and then I'm gonna shout out my sponsor. The Rogue Energy is good.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
There you go.
yeah, yeah,
There's a lot
uh,
of good. There's a lot of good energy out there, and
yeah, absolutely,
I like that there's new brands doing new things, cleaner ways, healthier ways. I appreciate that stuff. I really do.
for sure. Have you had any unusual experience or cool experience with a fan?
Yes, I had a fan slide me an energy drink during my match,
Uh,
cracked it open, drank it, and did a whole comeback. That and again, I love my fans so much. Like, I don't I say it a lot, but it I say it so much, but it's so true that without our fans, we are not we're nothing without our fans. You know what I
absolutely,
mean?
right.
I see a lot of people like get annoyed, with certain fans or I hate like when people call fans marks because we're all marks. We all love wrestling, right? We all are fans of some point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, so that's kind of my thing. Is like I really appreciate every fan. I never turn down an autograph, never turn down a picture. It's just something that they've watched me grow up since 16 years old, and kind of I've and they've seen me grow, and a lot of these fans have known me since I'm a teenager, and it's so cool to see. And then they see me grow and grow, and now I have new fans coming along from the horror industry or the film industry, and it's just so cool to see just the fandoms come together and just I
Absolutely,
love my fans. I love them.
for sure. Um, have you had a strange encounter with a fan?
Um, no, not I would say strange, but I saw a fan at the airport in Europe who lived in America. That's pretty random. Like we were both in Europe at the same time, right? Isn't that kind of
Okay.
funny?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
First of all, meeting someone in the airport in Europe in a European country who knows you is pretty crazy. But a fan
Right.
who lives in America who's there the same time you are, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That is
That was
cool.
that
That's
was like
cool.
a like they're like, oh Vinny, is that you? I knew this fan too. I've seen him around, and I was like,
Okay.
shit. I said like shit. This is pretty interesting. So yeah, a lot of fun things happen like that when out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
For sure. You said you wrestled like overseas, like over countries?
I'll name them for you right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Outside of US, outside of US. Well,
Yeah.
okay, I'll say Puerto Rico because it's a part of US, but still Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, Canada, um, Puerto Rico, Canada, Finland, England, France, Wales, Germany,
Wow.
Romania, Hungary, Netherlands. What was that? Amsterdam. No, I said that. I think it's the Netherlands. Sorry. Um, Costa Rica, Dubai, and there's more. Japan.
Dang.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
So,
It's been crazy.
when you're wrestling over there, I imagine the language barriers is kind of different, right?
Mhm.
And when you're calling spots, like how you guys call the spots, like depending on the person, depending on the match, you
So,
know.
so, so I'll tell you this. Being trained at Ring of Honor, they taught us to be able to work through language barriers very much.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
why
Cool. Cool.
it
Cool.
was luckily for me, knock on wood, I'm blessed to say that it was very easy for me to be able to wrestle in Japan and not have any worry with not have any problem with the language barriers.
That's good. That's
But
good. Yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 matches, and one of them was against an Australian wrestler, so that was easy just to communicate.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um,
they got a different, but we can understand them very good.
yes, but with the people when workers who are Japanese, it was fairly easy to be able to communicate. And in
Okay.
Costa Rica, I wrestled in Houston for some lucha shows that were very close to Mexico.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a blessing to say that I've been trained to be able to do that those language barriers. In Dubai, that crowd was insane. That was a passionate wrestling crowd.
That's
Um,
cool.
I love when there's wrestling crowds that are so. I mean, listen, France, such a rock star of a crowd.
I know.
France.
Like France's crowd when WWE goes over there, France
Yep.
crowds they get into it, man.
Yep.
And like they'll sing the Randy Orton song, and that's one of the things that Randy Orton thought about changing his theme song until he heard the France crowd singing along with it. So that's yeah, the France crowd, man, they are awesome.
Germany also. I gotta give it to them. England, the England wrestling scene, I absolutely love because there's so much happening, and they wrestle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, they have so many shows going on in England. I love that. And Japan,
That's
like I said,
crazy.
Japan, bar none. Ask any wrestler who's been there; they love it out there.
What is your work schedule week like as a wrestler?
But as of right now, it's been insane with
Yeah.
media. I have a lot of movies. I have a few movies coming out. I have
Hmm.
Mr. Reset coming out, so I'm doing a lot of
Okay.
media for that. Um, and it's one of those things where it's not it's been very it's hard. Okay, so my biggest thing is finding the work life balance. Um, that's hard for me. I'm trying my best to because it's just like I'm always on my phone. I'm always doing media, emails, podcasts, interviews. But
Yeah.
I wake up early in the morning, about 5 6 a.m. I go to the gym. I do my morning prayers. I will do a lot of cardio, but once it's like once 8 9 o'clock hits, I start doing my emails, stuff like that. This is during the week.
Right. Right.
Hit my podcast in the evening. That I have, and media appearances. I had last week. I had 2 major podcasts in LA these last 2 weeks, and these are pretty massive podcasts, and they were really fun. And this week alone, I'm going to a talk show in LA on Thursday, and then Friday I'm going on the news.
Nice.
So it's a lot of traveling, a lot of nonstop.
Nice.
So it's been busy, and like I said, getting in film also. I have these movies I gotta these films that I have to promote and do the media for. And again, I get to do it. I'm lucky to do this. I'm blessed. I'm very lucky that I get to do this stuff because again, I've wanted this work for so long, and now it's coming, and now it's like wow, it's here, and I'm giving my all to every single opportunity given to me.
For sure. For sure.
But it's been busy. It's been busy, and they're wrestling on the weekends, Friday, Sunday. I'm wrestling for Hollywood Wrestling and Gotham Wrestling, and they run weekdays. So they're amazing. They're on TV. Uh, amazing production they have. And yeah, they're phenomenal, and I really enjoy working for them as well. But like I said, they're weekdays, so it's pretty cool to be able to do them on the weekdays when weekdays and the weekends for other shows. It's been really fun.
For sure. You reside out of California,
No,
LA.
Staten Island, New York.
Oh, you stay in New York, so you fly then?
Oh, back and forth. Lately, it's been a
Wow,
lot, and I'm gonna
that's
be in LA.
crazy.
I'm gonna be in LA 4 or 5 times this month.
Nice, nice. Busy man.
Oh
As a
yes,
fandom, do you have an all-time favorite match?
Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, WrestleMania.
Okay, okay. I like that. Mine would be Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
That was amazing. That was an
Yeah.
amazing. That one. I'll even say that one's one of my favorites. I'll say John Cena, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23.
Yep. And my other one, my very first WrestleMania match I recall watching was a triple threat match with Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, and Rey Mysterio.
Me
And
too.
dude,
Yes.
it made me fall in love with pro wrestling. The underdog story that they had for Ray set up. Oh my god,
Hmm.
it was just perfect. It was like chef's kiss.
I love Kurt Angle.
Absolutely.
Kurt, Randy, Ray, the best.
Yeah,
Randy to me, one of my favorites. I love him.
absolutely. Yeah, I was just so happy he won the elimination chamber. He
Hmm.
deserves it for sure. Do you have a dream opponent for yourself? It could be present or Past.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel
Uh,
Bryan.
and I would say John Cena, but I mean, listen, he inspired me in wrestling and film, and it's just amazing. He's an amazing person to be inspired by, I believe, and he's just one of the best of all time. But Daniel Bryan, definitely. I would say Matt Cardona. He's another one that I want to wrestle that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I want to rematch with Rocky Romero from New Japan.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
wrestled him. I wrestled him, and I gotta say, he is hands down probably the best in the world. He
All
is
right.
phenomenal.
Cool. Cool. Do you have let's see. Do you have a favorite move you want to do, or you like to do, or you won't do?
Power punch. Pop my
Power
energy
punch.
drink, throw a Superman punch, and that's it.
That's awesome. And a move that you won't like to do.
Alabama Slam.
You don't like
Hurts
that?
so bad. It hurts so bad.
The whiplash.
Bad.
Yeah.
That happened to me before. I was like, after that, I was like, nope, never again. Knock you right
And
out.
right, right. And do you have an arch rival? You have somebody that just despise of you?
Darius Carter. I love him, but I also have wrestled him 10 plus times. Um, but and Europe many times. In England, I wrestled him. But I wrestled him in England like 4 or 5 times. Matt Seidel and I have
Oh,
we have a rematch. He beat me once. I beat him. Wait, I beat him once. He beat me once. So we're waiting to have our third match.
wow. That's not that.
Yep,
That would be cool. That'd be cool to watch.
I love
And
him.
if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Live in the moment. Be present. Because like I said, I've missed so many family and growing up. I missed so much family stuff. Weddings, funerals, anniversaries, birthdays. I've just been traveling so much since I'm such a young age that I miss a lot. So I would say be present a little more. Try and prioritize your family. I do now, but back then I was always just out and about. Um, don't stop and take every single no as a lesson and
Okay.
as a opportunity to redirect, which I've done. So it's pretty much just kind of learning along the way of just never give up, never stop, and just keep moving forward.
I like it. I like it. And do you have any pre-match traditions,
Yes.
rituals? Okay,
Pray. I do a lot of stretching. Stretching is one of the most important things you could do before your matches.
for sure.
Seriously, stretching, lifting some, like, getting some bands, resistant bands, making sure you're mobile. Being mobile is so important. And a little bit of cardio. I do a little bit of running before matches, get my blood flowing.
Absolutely,
That I feel is very important to do.
for sure. And then let's see. Do you have any advice for young folks trying to break into the business?
Don't stop.
Don't
Don't
stop.
let don't let no's discourage you. Don't let the little thing in the back of your head telling you can't do it make you feel like you can't do it. You can do it. Because there's always going to be that little. I mean, at least for me, that little bug in your ear. Oh, you can't do it. You can't.
Yep.
And it's if I believe that, I would not be where I am now. I have gotten to beyond. I have gotten to be on Kurt Angle's podcast, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s podcast, Road Dogg's podcast, Gangrel's podcast. I've gotten to wrestle for every major company there is to wrestle at. I've gotten to wrestle in 10 plus countries. I've gotten to be in movies, lead in a movie, and I never thought I would do those things. But I believed in
Right.
myself. I bet on myself, and I did not stop moving forward. So if I'm able to do that, I think you can too. So just never give up, never stop pushing forward, and just keep on keeping on.
For sure. For sure. Um,
That's pretty good advice.
yeah. Yeah. I like it too. Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers.
Shawn Michaels, John C. Is it skill or popularity?
mm, I guess that's a good question because I haven't been asked that. Um, let's go skill.
Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart.
Okay. Mine would be for skill. I like Daniel Bryan for sure.
Oh yeah.
Uh, AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep,
Definitely him
yep.
too.
Um, I like Jeff Hardy. And another one, I would say, oh man,
Gotta go with Sean. No,
I would, yeah, I would say, yeah, Sean.
you can do it
I
all.
mean, yeah, for sure. See, I was born in '99. I seen Sean for like 10 years, maybe.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would put Sean on there too.
Maybe
So
even Randy. I would say Randy too. Randy's just
Randy, Stone Cold, yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of them.
for sure. But and you have any social medias you want to hype up?
Yes. Follow me at Vinny Pacifico on Instagram. Twitter is Vinny Pacifico one. Facebook is Vinny Pacifico, and TikTok is Vinny Pacifico, and YouTube is Vinny Pacifico one.
Okay, there we go. And last but not least, you have any questions for me?
Yes. What is your goal in this in your podcast space?
Good question. My goal is to get people more involved in pro wrestling, whether it's the indie scenes. Mostly right now, it's the indie scenes. I love watching indie wrestling because it's the same thing that we see on TV, a little different, but the indie guys need a lot of exposure and a lot of light because yeah, they do the same thing that we see on TV. So
Yep,
I
totally.
praise the indies a lot because I mean, let's face it, Daniel Bryan came from the indies, AJ Styles, a lot of people
CM
are
Punk, all
CM
of them.
Punk
Yep, a
and
lot of them. A
like
lot of them.
Kevin Owens, like Sami Zayn. I mean, but yeah, the indies need a lot of exposure, and I love watching indie wrestling. So
I love it.
I I try to bring in a lot of indie wrestlers on this podcast, and even wrestling content creators as well.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I just started it this year. I've had a goal of it like around last year, and I just stuck with it this year. And then yeah, you're episode 25.
Awesome.
So
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much.
and one more thing, you got any favorite content creators you like to watch?
I'm gonna be biased because I have
Yeah.
my very good friends, but AJ and Big Justice,
Okay. Okay.
my
Cool.
very good
Cool.
friends. So I and they're great people. So I'm unbiased for that one.
You're good. You're good. And yeah, and this is episode 25. Vinny Pacifico. Thank you for hopping on the show, buddy. I
Thank you for having
appreciate your
me.
time. Absolutely. All right. This is episode 25. I appreciate you guys for watching. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Give me a